Antonio Castro, 5106 Glenview Place, Bonita, and also a property owner in Chula Vista. I'm here actually to express my opposition to the terminology of sanctuary cities and even sanctuary states now they're talking about. I believe that in a roundabout way, it becomes something like aiding and abetting the breaking of federal law. Even though that's not exactly what it is, but in a way it is. Because what happens is you end up dangling a carrot in front of people who are going to come here illegally, who are maybe felons escaping the law in Mexico, which I know that's a fact because I've seen people in that situation. And they end up coming here and becoming problems. You had the case a couple of years ago of a young girl killed by an illegal alien 10-time loser in San Francisco, just mindlessly shot dead by someone who should have been deported to Mexico. Another thing, I have a son. My oldest son is a police officer in a very large southern city. And he was telling me the other day, we were talking about this, he said, you know, in our state, they've actually passed legislation requiring local authorities to contact federal officials whenever they get a felon who is an illegal alien, to deport them, basically. And he says, you know what's going to happen? If more states enact this policy, all these people who are here illegally and they're felons, you know where they're going to go, don't you? I said, yeah, they're going to come to California because it's a sanctuary state. Even though they may not know all this fancy terminology of what it is and all the things we're doing, people, especially Hispanics who are from Mexico, they don't know all the details. They just hear the word sanctuary city. Let's go to California. And before you know it, you've got an influx of people who are committing laws left and right. In the state that he is in, I won't mention the state, but he's been there. He's been an officer for like 15 years there. 15 years ago, there was probably 100 illegal aliens in that city. Now there are over 250,000 people there illegally. And he says, trust me, they're not all Mary Poppins. We got MS-13, Salvatrucha gangs. They're taking over the drug trades. They've depressed the salaries that are paid to black citizens because now they're working for less money. It's been a big disaster. So it's not as easy as it sounds. Sometimes you hear a lot of people screaming in the island, and it's true. You know, there's a saying in Spanish, el que traga más pinol traga más saliva. El que come más pinol, and then basically what it means is a squeaky wheel gets the grease. But policy shouldn't be based on squeaky wheels. It should be based on sound, logical situations and what the country requires. If you really want to see a really good, sound immigration policy, and I know everybody here who's here, they would probably think it's crazy. But if you go to the Mexican immigration policy, it's very, very, very strict on how they treat illegal aliens. Actually, in Mexico, an illegal alien could probably be thrown in jail for being there illegally. It's a policy that they enforce rigorously. And I know this for a fact because I've met people who have been here illegally, and they told me some of the horror stories of how they had to put up with Mexican officials and the way they were treated in Mexico. And these were South Americans and Central Americans. So and I agree with the chief that we don't want the police department to be another ICE department. But when you catch somebody who's here illegally committing a felony, and he's here illegally, he should be deported. There's just no other way around it. Now, years ago, you had the Bracero program, and my father-in-law came to this country legally that way. And at the time, there was a lot of people that wanted him to go illegally. He said, no way, I'm going to go legally. I'm going to do it right. He became a citizen. He's been here since the 50s. My grandparents all came from Mexico. My father came from Baja. Matter of fact, the mayor and I share an aunt, Aunt Becky. She's one of our common relatives. So, no, it's something that really has to be taken very, very seriously and not just say, well, we're a sanctuary city, because it'll have the effect of drawing in people who you don't want here. I'll tell you that right now. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
My Honorable Mayor and Council, I come and oppose this sanctuary city, period. I mean, I'm a veteran from Vietnam. This is ridiculous, and most of the people that I know oppose this kind of a thing. This is, you got to obey the law. That's simple. My wife came here illegally. Not illegally. She waited her turn. She got in line. It took her many years to get here legally. And now we're talking about all these rights for these illegals. They don't got no rights. The Constitution don't give them any rights. You got to be honest. Look at it. And I hate this bashing Trump all the time. This is ridiculous, some of these people, what they're saying. Trump don't come out and he isn't a bigot. He don't like this or he doesn't like that. He said that. He's come out and said it. And I just can't believe they're even discussing something like this in Chula Vista. I've been here over 48 years in this city. I came here 18 years old when I went in the Navy. And I served my time. I went to Vietnam, served my time there. And I can guarantee you a lot of veterans aren't for this in Chula Vista. And I mean, I don't know who's bringing it forward, but whoever it is needs to stop this kind of stuff. This is absolutely ridiculous to come up with something like this. I mean, I don't know. You served in the military. I served in the military. I don't know how many of the rest of you did. Maybe you didn't. But I fought for the right to have free speech. Not the right for illegals to be in this country. I didn't fight for that. And I had a lot of people die over there. I don't know if you know, it's been over 50,000 people died over there. And they didn't fight for illegal aliens. They fought for the country and the Constitution. And that's what you need to obey. I think all of you swore that when you got elected, that you would uphold the Constitution. And I mean, that's what you need to do. Period. I mean, I hate to lecture you, but it is what it is. You guys just need to get with the Constitution. And if the Constitution says they're going to do this, and Trump, the only one he wants out of here, the guy said, bad hombres. Who's the bad hombres? Drug dealers. People that commit crimes. That's the ones he's wanting out. He don't want the people in Chula Vista to go. He don't want to go in and disturb families. That's not his object. His object is to get rid of the people that commit crimes. And that's it, period. And for people to say anything else is just telling you a lie. Period. I mean, I'm sorry, but, you know, when you fight it for your country, and it means so much to you, when you come here and hear this, and they got all kinds of rights. They got this. The Constitution gives them no rights. Period. If you're an illegal, you have no rights. The Constitution don't give you any. You know, I'm sorry, but, you know, my wife came in from out of the country, like I said, and she spent a lot of time, so thank you.
Yes. Welcome.
Mayor and High City Council and City Attorney and everybody. This is probably like the second time I've been up here before, and the last Mayor Cox was probably the last time I've been here. But I just wanted to say I'm a son of an immigrant. My mom came from Mexico, from Guanajuato, so in the interior of Mexico. My grandmother moved with her 9 children all the way from Guanajuato to Tijuana. Two of my aunt and my uncle immigrated legally across the border. Everybody else waited, and they did the process. It took them 2 or 3 years. That was back, you know, probably 60s, 70s.
When it was easier.
I know, yeah. And it took 2 or 3 years. They went to the consulate. They paid the money. They went back and forth to see when they were ready, and they were able to do it. They took the test. They got legal. All I'm saying is I'm really opposed for us to be a sanctuary city. I really think that we don't need to do that. If it was that great, why would San Diego say we would never be a sanctuary city? Why would National City say we would not be a sanctuary city? Coronado, all right? Being bold, this is not being bold. This is being, I'm not going to say be disrespectful. This is being dumb, All right? I'm totally opposed to that. I work in the education field. My students are not scared. I'm sorry. I work with immigrant students, and they are not scared. So all these people say, oh, my students are scared. Oh, they're scared. Everybody's scared. The more thing I'm seeing, because I lived here since I was born. I was born here in Chula Vista in the late 70s. All I'm seeing is more homelessness moving in. All I'm seeing is the news showing people getting angry with each other and fighting, getting out of cars and fighting and stabbing each other. I don't know where that's coming from. I never used to see that in the city. They're not scared because of that. I think it's just, I don't know what's going on. But the city really needs to look at, you know, I don't know if it's the police needs to be out more or what. And, you know, I don't know. If there's 2 spots and they missed them, I don't know what's the deal. When I call for the police, they say, oh, we can't send anybody. So, I love the police. My aunt worked for the police department for many years. And they say, well, we can't spare an officer. And then not working with the federal government, that's like a slap in the face. And all this stuff against Trump, he's our president, President Trump, all right? He's not a bully. He's just putting down the law, and that needs to really be followed because he's actually doing stuff. He's not like the president before, Mr. Obama. I'm sorry, President Obama, but you let things go like this. This is the thing that happened. We got out of control, and now look what we have to do. You're starting with these sanctuary cities and all this other junk that we don't need. We don't need this. Chula Vista is great. We don't want to make it. People tell me all the time. They say, oh, it's Chulawana. We don't want to make Chulawana. We want Chula Vista. Beautiful view. This is an awesome place. For immigrants, we love immigrants. We love them working here. Now, illegal immigrants. Everybody needs to take their turn. I'm sorry, I know the immigration needs to be reformed. That's something you guys need to go to Sacramento and tell them. Do something so that we can go to Washington. All right? But sanctuary cities, all these little sanctuary cities, it's like ridiculous. I don't know. You guys just got to think about it because not everybody in the city is wanting this. It's not a clean-cut deal like all these people with scripts. I don't have a script. I come up and tell you how it is. I tell you what I feel. All right? And I know you guys are smart. That's why you're there. We elected you. And I elected you and I elected you. And you guys need to represent us. And you're not representing everybody. If you're hearing just them, and you need to think about it. All right? Just don't do it. Oh, it's going to be, you're being brave. You're being bold because you're doing this stuff. You're not. You need to think about what everybody wants. Thank you
very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, everybody else.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Maggie Vinson. I voted for some of you. And I've been a Chula Vista resident for many, many years. First of all, I want to say that I come from a family of immigrants that came here legally. I also want to state that I also have a large part of my family that are in law enforcement and in California Highway Patrol and so on. I love the fact that I am Mexican American and very proud of it.
You called us. Yeah, no, but
My family did bring me here to give me a better life. And I'm glad that they did because I do have a better life living here in America. And I am enjoying all the benefits. But I was born and raised here. My family came here legally. And I would highly urge people that are illegally here to make movements and do whatever they need to do to become legal in the U.S. And I do believe that our laws and maybe different measures need to be put out there so that these illegal immigrants can become legal. But I do agree with the young man in the red hat that was back there that spoke, and he was saying that he was a veteran. I agree with him in the sense that these people that are here illegally need to become legal at some point. I do not agree with Chula Vista becoming a sanctuary city, or even San Diego for that matter. And I'm sure that if it was put to a vote, most of California would say no to that. I would say that of the residents in Chula Vista, maybe 98% of them don't even know that this meeting is being held tonight, because a lot of people don't read what they get in the mail, including myself. I was told about this meeting tonight. I didn't know anything about it, but I'm glad I came and I'm glad I'm here. My brothers served in Vietnam. One of them, a 4-year term Vietnam veteran. He's against this being a sanctuary city. And he was born and raised in Mexico, but became a U.S. citizen because that's how highly and how much he holds this country dear to him. I believe that the people that do become legal citizens of America should love this country enough to die for it. And I do believe that there should be a blanket law, I don't know if they still do that these days, to bring these illegals in somehow. Somehow a law needs to be written, and shame on our government for not doing it sooner. I'm not blaming you all, okay? But I'm just saying, shame on our government and the officials for not making it easier for illegals to become legal, for all the red tape. I don't believe that you should put them through all that. Yes, I do believe in extreme vetting, and I love Donald Trump. Yes, I'm of Mexican descent, but that man is a good man, and I'm tired of hearing everyone bash him tonight. I am Mexican-American, true, but I am American. I was born and raised here. And Cesar Chavez, okay, of all people, a lot of illegals believe that he was for the illegal. Not true. Not true. Go back and read your history. He was for the Border Patrol enforcing the law. And I urge you all to do your job, enforce the laws. President Trump, and he is our president, and I love the man, like I said. I like everything he's doing. He wants a better America. He is simply imposing laws that have been in place for the last 8 years. They just were not being enforced. He didn't make any new laws. All he's doing is implementing and imposing what was already out there. And I'm tired of people bashing the man for doing what he's done. He's done nothing but good from day one.
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Thank you.